Hey, it's corruptarado. Watch. Fuck the blue line flag. Fuck the blue line flag. See anything else in here? What's your name and badge number? What's your name and badge number?
Officer Hood, badge number 6169.
Thank you.
Stenstro 6831.
This guy's doing out here. Someone trying to break in?
There was some people over here. This door was unsecured. Had to clear the building up.
Interesting.
Now we gotta stay here until the key holder comes and locks it. So.
Interesting. That's always fucking fun.
What's that?
It's always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, better safe than sorry than someone go in and take everything, right?
Well, I mean, you got it covered on insurance, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Shoot my bike.
So we got the long 20-minute wait till they get here.
I'm gonna go grab my bike from around the corner, and if you don't mind, I got a couple of questions for you guys, maybe.
Takes off with that.
I know that's stupid. All right, man. Joko, what's up, man? That Hood, if you go to my short videos, his short has 83,000 views or 81,000 views. He arrested me in the middle of the street between two breaks, whatnot. Trying to find my vape. Sorry for bouncing around. So, Hood, quick question.
Yes, Mr.
If you remember when you went to the academy and you all took your test and you took an oath to the Constitution to protect it, to protect people's rights, correct? Okay. Do you remember the First Amendment? 5 components of it. There's 5 parts to the First Amendment.
First Amendment is freedom of speech, press, religion.
2 more. If you don't know them, that's fine.
Yeah.
The freedom to peacefully assemble and the freedom to aggrieve your government. Yep. What's the 3rd Amendment?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
You don't have
a lot of things floating around.
Well,
the Rolodex gets a little slow sometimes.
I'll get to that in a second. You won't house enemy soldiers during time of peace.
Well, I'd hope we'd never house enemy soldiers, but
Well, with Biden opening up our borders the way he has, we have thousands of people coming across there. We have no idea who the fuck they are, So,
That's true.
yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, that should be, like, let's say you're a Christian, okay, and you believe in the Bible, right, and you study Scripture every day. You want to be armed with the knowledge of the Word, like back of your hand, and you're going to be able to recite some of them verses like the back of your hand. Period. The Constitution should be your Bible because you took an oath to it, to uphold it and to protect the people's rights. That's serious, super serious shit. So at least the amendments that affect us majority, the first, the second, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the eighth, the 14th, those ones should be memorized by you guys verbatim. Listen to it while you're in the shower, have someone, audio. No, seriously, I mean, because, it's super serious. And if you lose sight of that oath, you lose sight of why you became a cop, because that's the main reason, is to protect and serve the people and protect the Constitution, and
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think like everybody generally understands that the individual rights of people are very paramount, And like when we have kids that come through and train, that is one of their focus areas, is the individual rights of every individual we come across.
Well,
don't forget the fifth too.
Yeah, the right to remain silent.
The fifth.
And I strongly encourage that with most people.
Yeah, not
That's
yeah. No, I caught a ride around a couple weeks ago. A couple officers doing a ride around. Now, one of the officers adamantly refuses every time he sees me to identify, period, no matter what. It's your policy. If you make contact, you're going to identify, period.
And I think, we contacted.
I know, but I know what I'm saying is by you just saying hello or anything, that's contact. And so I want to clarify who the person is. But anyway, they have a ride along, not with his dick ass, but they have a ride along. And this kid is being shown by these officers to not identify to a citizen once you made contact. Now, how's that kid going to go through the academy if he does and get told this is a policy, this is what you got? Well, Billy Bob and Dickwad didn't fuck,
I think that.
You see what I'm saying? It's a bad example, man.
I think the example, that would have to be said is as soon as you ask me and as soon as I see you, I greet you, and then I identify, right? The only one thing about riders is those are protected people.
I get that, but they should see that message that you're doing your job.
But they should see me identify right away instead of.
And they would see that, but then they see, let's say he don't identify, and they're like, well, why he don't? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And that puts confusion in someone's head. And now they become a cop. 100%. And so now it's like, I can decide whether I want to follow policy or not. And there's where the disconnect is with the public.
I think that transparency is the way to go. Like if you ask me who I am, absolutely. Ask me what I'm doing, I will tell you what I'm doing, where I'm at, why I'm there. That's the whole reason.
And listen,
wants, right?
Hood, that's what people want, man. We want that connection, because there are certain things that we're allowed, even during investigations, like I'm allowed to ask for the call of service number that brought you out here. So I can go and request the information to find out just exactly what was said about the place. Because you might just tell me a general statement. Yeah. It was open and we had to close it. Okay, well, what happened? Yeah, I have the right to know that. And a lot of officers tell us that we don't.
Yeah.
And we fucking do, man.
Like this call, right? Specific. 2 people were reported hanging around the front of the store. They reported it in as a trespass, so we came here. Nobody was here. So we do our due diligence, check the doors, and actually one of them slid open.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Then we
I sat across the street, rolling across the street, coming this way, watched the 2 ladies lock the place up.
Yeah. So
I watched them lock it up.
I don't know how it was open, but I know this. We can't leave with as much foot traffic, especially because there's medications, a pharmacy, all that stuff. And we don't want someone going in, breaking the window, getting into the pharmacy, taking a bunch of things to the street, right?
Or just taking anything, period, man.
Yeah. So that's all we're doing.
No, and we appreciate the service, when it's, legitimate and whatnot, but
I would hope the contacts with our department are more open and better. And you can always strive for better, right? If you see people.
And that's what I want. I look for officers that are good. I look for officers that follow the policy, follow the law, and don't violate the citizens' rights. And I'm sorry to say, but out of 293 business cards from you guys that I have,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so nice and say this number, man, but it's not. 80 to 85% fail. For real. For real.
We can get better, right?
Yes, and that's why I continually do what I do, and I will continually demand, name and badge numbers, and business cards, and don't tell me I can't touch a fucking car. I'll lean on that car. I'll stand on the bumper of that car, as long as I don't hurt
You
it.
can't do? Get in it.
I cannot get in it, and I cannot hurt it or damage it.
Yep.
Anything other than that, and
As
I
long
pay
as
for
you-
that. I pay for the car, but I had Sergeant Alvarez there. 3 officers watching me. I'm leaning against their car. They don't say nothing to me because they know. Sergeant Alvarez pulls in. I'm like, I think I'm gonna go lean on his car. And I walk to his car and I barely put my arm on there. He spins around, starts yelling at me, get off his fucking car. And that just set off. And you know how I am. I have a tendency to go off. And I went off on him. And he told me I wasn't being very nice and I hurt his feelings. Oh, well, don't try and bully me and tell me I can't touch the car when I'm not hurting it.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're not hurting it and whatnot, it's on a public street, a public place.
Exactly, man.
It serves this community. That's why I tell people, the best way to get you there is give you a ride. I mean, yeah, we're not a taxi service, but we will take you to where you need to be, kind of thing. This is your car. You pay for the gas. You pay for the car. We'll take you there. As long as you don't damage it, hurt it.
That, and on top of that, if there's something like if resolving a situation without having to write somebody a ticket or do something, and all that is maybe I give you a ride someplace else, and that resolves the person who called issue. You get a little bit of help, and maybe that's a ride to the hospital, maybe that's a ride to the rescue mission or just another location, and maybe that helps too.
Yeah.
And if it's something that easy, hey, I give you a ride, and now I don't have to come back out here, write somebody a ticket, have the potential of things escalating, and God forbid I have to use force on somebody. I'll give you the ride. That's a lot easier. That's a lot easier to do on the front end and be like, hey, can I get you someplace where you're going to be safe?
And see, that's a rarity that I've heard this from officers. When I grew up, that was commonplace, in the 70s and stuff. The cops would pull over, and instead of running your plate and coming up and trying to demand your IDs and all that, because you're telling them I'm out of gas. Oh, you're out of gas? I'll be right back. They take off, go to the gas station, come back with a can, fill them up. Y'all have a good day. That's how I grew up. But it's not like that now. Now it's, I don't want to break down, man, because if I break down, someone's going to pull behind me. They're going to run my plates. Hopefully everything's right. Hopefully everything in my car is right, because they're going to come up and try and get me to tell them who I am. And I'm just broken down waiting for a ride. But it's not like that no more. It's more of an aggressive, and then now we're going to make it law that you violated by being, you see what I'm saying? And there's thousands of videos showing this, and it's like,
Let me ask you an honest question.
Huh?
In your interactions with the police force,
Hang on.
On those ones that are kind of not such great contacts.
Okay.
What are these people like? Are they young? Are they old? Are they middle aged like me? Like 40 years old?
You know what? It's a mixture of everything. I've had Sergeant Scott. I've had a couple older lieutenants, older regular cops, Cheney. There's been quite a few. It just varies. I've had Nurella, who was brand new. Arrested me in my parking lot because he was on a call for something else. And as he was walking by and I'm walking this way filming him, I simply said, hey, why are you here on the call? And he turns around and tells me they're here for a domestic. I said, oh, okay. I proceeded to walk to the car to film the car. And it set him off because I'm not allowed to touch his car now. So I told him, call a supervisor. Ends up, he lies on dispatch and tells them, because I put my foot on the bumper. I said, man, I'll put my foot. My profile picture is me standing on this car with my foot in the bumper.
I wouldn't stand on it. That might cause damage, right?
Well, no, no. If I stand on the bumper, I've stood on the bumper and filmed.
As sturdy as they get.
Yeah, but I just put my foot on his bumper, and he's jumping on the vehicle and being aggressive. They come code 3 on me.
I would say that if like it was the hood, because you know the hood.
Yeah, but he said because I went just like this. Here's the thing: I went and put my foot on there, didn't rock the car or nothing.
No big deal.
And he told dispatch that I'm jumping, and he went through the motion, jumping on the car, and I was like, "Are you, bro?"
I look at things like this, like.
But he learned at the end of that interaction that I can touch that vehicle. The sergeant made him aware of that fact.
And the only reason I would say the hood is because the hood can cave, right? It would cost damage.
Yeah.
The bumper, that thing's solid. It's going to be on that car.
Yeah.
You know, until something big hits it, right? But I look at it like this: like I will make a reasonable request. You know, and if the request is reasonable and it's well within the bounds, absolutely. If I don't, then.
Well, even so, then
you know,
even then, you can always ask me, "Hey, could you not touch the vehicle?"
Asking goes.
You can ask me all you want, but if I'm legally allowed to, I have the right to tell you to piss off or, "No, I'm good, bro. I'm gonna keep touching it. You know, I get off on this," or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sure.
Because it's not a lawful order.
I don't get too riled up anymore. I'm getting older.
Yeah.
There's no point in getting all riled up.
I wish you guys would tell that to a lot of other officers, man.
If I get all riled up, then I miss things, and my job is attention to detail.
You know,
if I miss things, then I make stupid decisions.
I've trained a lot of cops this year, and that's the one thing I tell them. I said in every situation, you have to be the calm. When everyone's chaotic around you, just be calm. Because
It's not. Don't take it personal.
If you lose control of that calm, the whole situation goes out, right?
Here's something that you guys need to, since you're a trainer, start telling these officers too, and even the old ones that are still in.
Oh yeah.
For instance, Sergeant Alvarez, I'll give that situation because I had 3 officers that they called in to watch me to make sure I don't do nothing, and I'm like, guys, come on, like, how long have I been doing this? I'm not going to go fucking with your shit. Yeah. Well, when I leaned up against his car, his back was to me, and he comes over to me. I didn't call him over. I didn't make a scene for him to come over. He chose to walk away from his deal and come over to me. Yeah. Now, halfway during his little spiel, he's telling me that I'm interfering with his investigation. I said, no, I'm not. I didn't ask you to come over here. You weren't called over here, so go back to fucking work. I'm not interfering shit. But a lot of your officers want to throw that interference out there because you got ADD and you can't focus on your fucking job. Well, if you see me standing by a car, are you doing anything wrong? No? Okay, cool. Go back to your fucking job. Don't come over to me or someone else and be like...
It's a big, like, you got to discern whether, like, if the situation that I'm in right now...
Okay.
Like if I say I'm working with someone,
yeah,
and you interfere with that part,
that's different. That's different. No, that's different.
You're just hanging around there.
But that's the problem. That's what I'm saying. A lot of cops will sit there. Like if I go up to your window and film your screen that shouldn't be up right now, yeah. Okay. I've had a lot of cops that will just go left and come to me and say, I'm interfering. Sure. Motherfucker, you're the one that can't focus. You're the one to come to me.
I think there's some focus on like, I have to. Well, like for instance. I know the car's locked right now. Nobody's getting in it.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about someone dabbling around it, right?
Yeah.
So I really have to turn my
attention yeah.
And until someone's like,
until you hear a crash or something. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So, you know, it's
teach your other officers that same attitude, though, is what I'm saying.
I think people have to slow down and think, are they interfering with me? Do I have to turn my attention that way and turn it away from this?
Well, it's not so matter if you decide if it's interfering. No, you go read the statute on interference, and it's very crystal clear what it says. Interference is a physical act. I must threaten to get in your way. I must threaten to stop you from doing your job, and I must get between you and your suspect or victim.
So that statute has 2 statutes, right? It has a state one. And then it has 93101, which is our city statute, right? Which is the interfering with the public official. So generally, when you have a city statute, it simulates what the Colorado revised statute is. Almost word for word, just a few variances here and there. But yeah,
External Affairs says if we look at his icon, he's seen on the hood of an LAPD police car. Hey, bro, I have one of my profile pictures standing on Officer Salter's front bumper in front of King Stupid's gas station.
Are we
And
now?
oh, you're live. Yeah, you guys are live.
He's holding it like we've been live the whole time.
Yeah, but I had Salter like, come on, guy, come on, get out the car. And I'm smiling, cheesing, telling him, just deal with it.
I get out and chat with you.
Yeah. Officer Salter is, I promote that dude, man. He needs to be,
Salter's a good person.
dude, he told me he came out here to become a cop. So I asked him, why? And he said, because I love your Constitution in this country.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure and protect it. And I was like, I got chills when he said, I was just like, my God, bro, I love you. You know, you
A lot
fuck.
of people don't realize how great we have it in this country.
They don't, man.
And you know, I'm a almost 11-year veteran. You know, the only reason I was out is because I got hurt. That's the only reason I became.
Appreciate your service, man.
You know, and that's why I love it so much. I valued it so much. But you talk to someone outside of this country, they realize that. They realize how great it is because they don't have it. They don't have it. You know,
Sir Campbell, be nice, man.
they don't have it.
No.
You know, some people take it for granted. I don't.
Yeah. Biggest thing is, man, learn the Constitution. Take your time when you have time off, man. Read it, man. It's simple, you know, and memorize it, bro. Because if you know it all, you can't violate it.
How we doing?
Yeah,
You know? All right, you guys have a good night, man.
Sure, take care, bud.
Yeah.
See you around, okay? Did you need a card or anything?
Yeah, we love that, man.
What are you gonna say?
Guys, even if they're not required to give me their cards, they are required to identify verbally the badge number and all that. But the cards under 400.80 states if I'm involved in the case or this or that, then I have the right to the card. However, most officers don't know that, and I take advantage of that like they take advantage of getting our IDs.
Did your number pull up? You want the number on them?
Yeah.
Yeah, you might as well then.
That's. They
Because
give
somebody,
us the new technology that decides it doesn't want to cooperate with
Here you
you.
go. It's 2024. 0106 3861.
Because I know you had mentioned earlier about you have the right to ask for the call.
yeah,
So
yeah.
figure I might as well just, rather than you ask, might as well just provide it.
And I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
You guys be safe out there, man.
Take care.
Thank you. Yep. All right, guys, there we go with that interaction. Now, see, I want it noted with these guys. Now, I've had issues with Hood before. He's arrested me. Okay. Four Corner, thank you for being here, man. Text Confidential, you too, man. External Affairs.
Yeah, that's nice. It was right there.
Cake yo. Marvelous Writer, Joe Co. Thank you all for being in here, man. But I'm going to ask these officers a question real quick because people think that I'm out just to fucking be a dick and I'm out to talk shit to these guys. And that's not the case, as I just showed in a 23-minute video. Real quick, Hood, do you feel that I was disrespectful or I was appropriate and professional with you guys?
You were. We had very good contact.
Okay, guys, I want you all to hear that. And that being said, to all you bootlickers out there that want to say that I'm out here just to instigate these guys and to get them to give me content and whatnot, this is what I'm looking for, a good professional relationship between citizens and the cops. And I am capable of having them, and I do have them as long as they identify when I ask them.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Mr.
You guys have a good one.
Be safe tonight, okay?
Yep. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all being in here, man. Love you guys. Learn your rights, know your rights, use your rights, or you're going to lose your rights. If you don't know your rights, most officers will not tell you your rights.